Hello and welcome back to another TFT video. We're going to be hopping directly into this game right from the beginning. No intro, nothing, just hopping right into it. So in this game, we are going to be going for the Brawler Blaster buff, which is, in my opinion, the second best build right now in the meta. Second only to the Infiltrator mech build, which is just very, very dominant right now in these with this meta. Just Mech Pilot is just so powerful. So we are going to be starting off this game with the 4-cost carousel, and we are going to pick up a Jinx with a tier. Now, Jinx with the tier is just not particularly strong. I really don't. Tier is just not good on Jinx at all. The only item I could see you making with a tier on the Jinx is going to be Hand of Justice, which is fine, but just other items are so much stronger on her. It's just not what you want. I think I actually didn't mean to pick up the Jinx, but it's what I got, so we're going to go with it. So starting off, we are going to have the Rebel buff, which Rebel's not very good, not a very optimal build, but we are just picking them up because that is what we are getting, and we're just picking up a bunch of pairs as well. So early rounds, we are going to end up losing just because our Jinx is kind of useless and everyone else has some much stronger 4-cost unit. As well, we only have tier 1 units, no tier 2 units. So we are going to go for the bow on the carousel because I do think I want to go blasters, even if our Jinx does not have an optimal item on her. We're going to be picking up the tier 2 Malphite, which is very nice, and we could go for a tier 2 Rakan, which we do end up picking up just because tier 2 Rakan is very strong. Unfortunately, we don't get him in here. I probably should have leveled up to put him in, and we do actually end up losing that. Perhaps we would have won if we had put in the Rakan. We're also picking up some random rebels just in case we want to go 6 rebels, but I don't think it's very strong right now and would much prefer going blaster brawlers instead. So here we're actually going to get rid of the rebel buff and put in the Rakan. We're going to stay at level 4 and just kind of try and econ up here instead of going for the wins. Although if we do win, then we'll take it. But fortunately, we don't win this round either, but I guess that is good for our loss streak. We did win the second round of the game, which is actually kind of unfortunate. It kind of messed up our gold production, which is too bad. We're going to also be picking up some more protectors here, just in case you want to go protectors, because we really haven't set in stone completely our build, but I am leaning towards blasters at this point. So we are going to pick up another bow, which is very good for the Jinx, and we're also going to be picking up a Lucian. We're going to be selling all of our rebels. We decided officially to not go rebels, and I'm going to be saving my items until the next carousel. I do make red buff onto the Jinx, which is, I think, basically the most core item for a Jinx player. You really need that Jinx. Here we do hit the Cho'Gath as well, so that is just leaning us even more towards going Brawlers. We also have the Vi on our bench, so if we do hit a Blitzcrank, we will have all 4 Brawlers, which is a very strong buff. Even though it got nerfed by 50 health, I think it's still pretty powerful. I've seen a lot of Brawler players, even if they're not going Blasters, but Blasters is the most common thing that I see, at least in my games. Here we do pick up the Blitzcrank, and we're going to sell all of our Protectors. So here we're going to put in all 4 Brawlers, and we've got 4 Brawlers, 2 Blasters. So as long as they don't have Infiltrators on their side, I'm pretty sure we're going to win these. Our Jinx is just going to be able to pump out so much damage with her rockets, and especially with the red buff as well. Giant Slayer is also very strong in her. Here's another Jinx just with an item we just do not need. The other guy picks it up anyways, and we're going to go for the Chain Vest. Chain Vest is a pretty good item for our Brawlers. It just makes them more tanky, so we're going to pick that up. Here we are going to look for another Jinx to replace this Jinx, just because we really just don't want that tier on her, and we would rather have a full item like Runins, which we could be making already, or potentially a Rapid Fire Cannon. So even though we do want to get level 2 Jinx, nobody else is really going Jinx in this lobby, so we know we're going to be able to hit some. So we're just going to be looking for some econ, looking to level up, and hit a second Jinx to replace the Jinx we already have in. Up against some Cybernetics. The Vi does get onto our Jinx, but doesn't quite kill her, so we are able to win that round. Jinx still doing so much damage, even though she's just level 1, but she is a very, very powerful unit. When you can get those synergies, when you have that front line, that's when she's most effective. Here on the wolves, the space wolves, we are going to be looking for bows or defensive items for our front line. Unfortunately, literally all we get is a giant spell, which is not the most useful thing in the world, but I guess we'll take it. We could make Zephyr if we wanted to, but we are going to save our items. I really want to hit rapid fire cannon here just because I think it would be very, very strong on the Jinx. Fortunately, our Cho'Gath just kind of ints there and ults the one unit that's not surrounded by the other units, which is really unfortunate and honestly lost us that round. So we are in second to last place right now. This is a very, very close game overall. Nobody's on a win streak. We do finally hit a second Jinx, and then we hit a third Jinx right afterwards. So we could have had a tier 2 Jinx right now, but I'd still rather have better items on her than tier 2 because I'm pretty sure we can hit a tier 2 soon enough, and we do have enough health that we're not too worried. You can see in one round we went from second to last to third place. We hit the tier 2 Jinx, which is super awesome. I'd much rather have a bow on a tier 2 Jinx than a tier. So here we're up against some Vanguards with a Jhin carry. Luckily, our Blitzcrank was able to pull the Jhin, and we were able to win that round pretty easily as well. Jhin is pretty strong against Brawlers because he does so much pure damage that you really need resistances if you're going to beat them. And here, saving our items really paid off. We are able to hit a second bow to make the rapid fire cannon onto the Jinx. So our Jinx is now essentially optimal items. I think you could replace either the rapid fire cannon or the Giant Slayer with a GA. That would be very strong. But these items are very, very strong. A items, maybe not S tier items, but A tier items. We're also going to put our tiers and other items onto the Cho'Gath. I do opt to go for a Redemption and Iceborne Gauntlet instead of Seraphs and what is the other item called? And the item that gets rid of another unit. I decided to just go for the Iceborne Gauntlet and the healing item. I don't think Seraphs is that useful on any of our units, so that's why I did that. It would be okay on the Lucian, but our Lucian is still level 1, so not going to worry about that. We are saving up our money. We're going to finally hit the tier 2 Blitzcrank. We're going to make the Ionic Spark on the Cho'Gath, and we are finally going to level up some of our units. So there we had over 100 gold. We were able to level up and roll down, hit some tier 2 units, and just get some massive upgrades here. Up against some Cybernetics. Luckily, he doesn't know how to position, and his Kayle gets pulled by our Blitzcrank, and Jinx is able to absolutely destroy everybody on their team, which is very nice. Cho'Gath's also doing a fair amount of damage, especially with that Ionic Spark. I think Ionic Spark is a very, very good item, especially late game. It reduces the magic resist, which is very nice as well. So I think that's a very, very strong item. We're going to be picking up another Jinx and some more Brawlers. We're looking for another Vi and another Cho'Gath for those upgrades. Not much else to do, just going to sit and wait. Our positioning is about as good as it gets. We could be scouting, looking for the infiltrators, but I know not many people are going infiltrators in this lobby. This guy's actually going to be going Cybernetics, which is a very, very strong build right now. But luckily for us, we do have a very, very strong Jinx who's able to deal tons and tons of damage, and we were able to win that round as well. We are in second place behind this Vanguard player who is on a win streak, but I think we can handle Vanguards pretty easily with our red buff especially. Picking up a couple more Jinx, so we are very healthy right now, and we do have very good econ, so I'm thinking it could be a very good game to go for the tier 3 Jinx. Here up against Vanguard Mystics. He does only have 3 Mystics, so not much magic resistance here from his team, but he does have a lot of healing. But luckily for us, we do have red buff, which is very, very good against the healing. Our Jinx is finally able to get her second ult off and able to switch to her rockets and deal tons of damage. This Mordekaiser is very beefy, but we're able to take him out, so that's pretty good, and the Mystic Vanguard player is out of there. On the carousel, looking for defensive items, looking for GA. really anything we can get. Unfortunately for us, the G8 is taken right before we can grab it, and we are going to go for the Zeke's Herald, which is solid. We can use that on our backline to just give them more attack speed. And we are going to be hitting a Misfortune here, and we're going to be selling our Graves, and we actually hit 3 more Jinx in all those rolls. So only 1 more Jinx we need until we get the tier 3 Jinx, which would be huge. Here against Mech Pilot Sorcerers, which is actually a surprisingly powerful build in this patch. I feel like it didn't really get changed since last patch. The only thing that's changed really is Rebels, and it does very, very well. We do actually beat it here and we knock him out, but he was very close to taking us out. And I've seen a lot of very powerful Sorcerer mechs in my recent games. So that's kind of something that's interesting, especially with the next patch coming out. It'll be super interesting to see the Sorcerer buffs and what that does. I'm feeling like Sorcerers are going to be very, very powerful, and thus Mystics, again, will be very, very powerful just to counter that increase in damage. Star Guardian's also getting a buff, so I expect to see a lot more of those comps. Here, our Lucian is able to clean up the last few units, and our Misfortune as well. Pretty close match there as well, but we are able to win. And we pick up the tier 3 Jinx. We also pick up a Gangplank, and we're going to be grabbing a Deathblade as well from the Kayn, which is not an optimal item, but it's not a bad item by any means either. We would have loved another Giant Slayer or another like red buff maybe even, or anything that's on hit would be good, but Deathblade, not bad. Not bad at all. Going to be putting that onto the Lucian because I'm pretty sure he has very high attack speed. I probably could have put it on MF, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Our Jinx is going to be doing so much damage. Once she gets her second ult off, she can just pop off. Another Cybernetics player with his Aurelia carry with kind of weird items on, but that doesn't matter for us. We were able to take him out very easily. So top 3, we are all pretty healthy here, so it really is anyone's game. We finally hit the Cho'Gath upgrade. We still haven't hit the Vi upgrade, which is insane. We've hit an entire tier 3 Jinx and not a tier 2 Vi. I do put in the chat where are all the Vi's. People are going Cybernetics, but I looked at some of them and they only had tier 1 Vi's, so pretty interesting that we haven't hit any more since then. Hitting the tier 3 Jinx was also very clutch here. As you can see, she was very low on health and probably would have died if she was still tier 2 just because she would have had less health and she would have been doing less damage. So I think we would have lost that round potentially if we did not have the tier 3 Jinx. She's just so powerful. Her rockets do so much damage, and if she gets to a rocket, it's over for the other team basically. The rapid fire cannon is also very, very nice. She doesn't have to move around and waste time not auto-attacking. She just gets CC'd a little bit here, and it's looking a little dire, but her MF gets a sick ulti off and is able to kill all the units that are jumping on the Jinx, and we were able to win that round as well. Very, very close match there, but we were able to pull it out. Here the other guy doesn't even care, I guess, about the carousel. He doesn't move until like the last second. We do pick up so many MFs in a row. There's also a GP, but we don't really care about that. We're going to be putting in the Kayle. We hit a tier 2 Kayle, but at the last second, so we're not able to get her in. And we are just so powerful at this point. This guy's going Dark Star Sniper, Vanguard build, which is, I think, pretty strong, but not stronger than the tier 3 Jinx. And she is able to take him out, dealing so much damage. That's the Blaster Brawlers for you. Love them so much. Really great build. I hope you liked this video. I sure did. Enjoyed playing and recording for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.